Okay, very cool. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm gonna introduce myself real quick, and then we're gonna dive in. And this is not a normal webinar. So the purpose of this whole thing is to dive in deep on your goals for this year and help you learn how to not just attain your goal, but become the person so that the goal is second nature, if that makes sense. I know many times in my life when I've set a goal, if I didn't achieve it, then some part of me felt like I wasn't good enough. And then I had guilt or shame around it. And then when I tried to set it again, it just kept not achieving. And why? It wasn't due to the goal. It was because I didn't focus on the identity of who I needed to become in order to achieve that goal. So in this webinar today, we're going to dive in on how to embrace and live your identity. So while I'm doing that, I am going to just double check, and I think I may have sent out the wrong webinar link to somebody. So I'm going to shoot that link over to my assistant and have her send it. And while we're waiting, I would love to hear your intentions so far, just from what you've heard, what you've seen, what you've heard from me. What would you like to get out of this experience today? So go ahead, drop in the chat. I'm going to send over that link so that everybody can join the correct link here. And then we'll kick this thing off even more than what we're doing now. All right. Okay. Okay. Sweet. So would love to work on my sabotage, release resistance and trauma. Very cool. Rosie, Linda. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. So I'm going to be switching cameras. I'm going to be on here, and then I'm going to be working here on the board. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know me, real quick introduction. My name is Tyler Watson, and my passion is on helping people who are cause-driven be able to attain their goals in days instead of years. And we do that through a powerful process and system of alignment. So my whole philosophy is that the only reason that we don't attain something in our life is due to an allergy or an addiction, a fight or a flight, a push, a pull frequency. And those of you who have followed me, who are in my programs, you understand that. Those of you who are brand new, welcome. And I would just love to know who's new, who has never heard of anything that I'm doing, and you might not know about me, but you just joined and saw a link or something and hopped on. So who's new? Rosie, welcome new. Awesome. And then who's the veterans, who's been around a while, or at least maybe getting started? I just love to know that as well. Roxana, new, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Linda, been through the 10-day challenge. Sweet. Cool. I'm getting started and loving it. Jessica, awesome. Okay. So let me just share a little bit of a backstory. So I started back about 6-7 years ago as a Thai yoga therapist. And my dad's a clinical kinesiologist. My stepmom's a naturopath. And I knew the power of energy. I had grown up with muscle testing and frequency stuff. And I just thought that that was like English. It was a normal thing. And yet my dad was known as the witch doctor up on the mountain. So if at the very end of, if somebody was dying and they had no idea what to do, they're like, hey, go see the witch doctor up on the mountain. He'll figure it out and solve you. And I always wondered, like, why such taboo around helping people? And as I started to dive into energy work and energy systems, I realized that everything we do is energy work. Everything, our words, our actions, our thoughts, everything has a frequency, a pattern of energy. And so as we go through our lives, if something is not if we're not attaining something in our life, it is due to us not being in tune with that frequency. So imagine like a radio, right? So you have a radio. What do you do if you want to listen to a certain song? You change this channel. You go to a specific station, which tunes in and allows you to listen to that specific station. If you don't like the station, you change the channel. You get a different frequency, right? The same thing happens, but with every single cell in our body. Every single cell in our body is its own little radio station that is tuned into tons of different frequencies and stations. So if we have something that is not ideal in our life, it is because more of us is tuned into that frequency than not. If I am having something that I'm not attaining, so there's a goal that I haven't attained, it's because more of us is out of tune than not. So the goal is to tune in every single part of us so that it becomes second nature, right? So in this webinar today, as I evolved over the years, I went from a place of struggling, making less than $12,500 in a year to working on myself constantly, doing a lot of repetition, a lot of passion, a lot of breakthrough techniques, and seeing the results, literally putting in sometimes 4 to 6 hours of work on myself a day. But it was exhausting. It was tiring, and it was a lot of work. And I went from a place of struggling. I was suicidal, depression. I didn't believe in myself, struggling a lot with pornography addictions and video game addictions. And I didn't even have a goal to think of. I remember thinking about, hey, what goal do I want? And I thought, I'm actually pretty happy, but I really wasn't. I was settling. Settling is not happy. So I realized I was settling to avoid pain and future letdowns. And I know many of you have goals that you want to attain in a very short amount of time. But if you have attached the meaning of goal to failure, it's tough, I've tried it before, then it will be very difficult to embrace this new year so that you can fully launch yourself and take on this year with a bang, right? So today we're going to help you make that shift, get a change in how you think and how you feel. So it's not just a mind game, but it's a whole body game so that your full identity can embrace the vision that you're going toward. And over the years, as I did that, I went from struggling, making very little money, scared to death of a relationship, and watched my mom go through 4 divorces, my dad through 2, and I was terrified. And went through that. And on the end, as I worked on myself, I was able to make over 6 figures the next year. I found my beautiful wife and did multiple 6 figures the year after, started teaching and coaching for Les Brown and Ted McGrath and going all over the country, and wrote a book and did all these great things because I knew that no matter what I wanted, if the only reason that I didn't have it was because some part of me wasn't in tune with that thing. So I had to do a lot of repetition and passion. Fortunately for you today, I've taught what's called the abundance alignment technique. And you're going to learn a little bit about that today. We're going to do some techniques today to align so that instead of having to do repetition and passion every single day for 10 years or whatever, you can simply align, literally tune in to the frequency of what you want without all the struggle. Cool. So who's down for that? Who's down for more effective, faster, more efficient? Yes. Cool. I love it. And Jessica says, what's the book title? It's called The Enrollment Effect. So The Enrollment Effect is my book. You can get it on Amazon or on my website, abundancemasters.com. And yeah, it's a great book. I wrote it a while back. I'm rewriting a book this year to incorporate all about alignment. So I'm super stoked about that. All right. So sweet. Yes, I'm in. Cool. Intention to be more calm, release frustration better in more positive ways. Yes to the challenge. Getting started, familiar with some of your vids. Very cool. Welcome. Okay. Very cool. So with that, today we are first going to take you through, so we're going to take you through 3 or 4 processes, okay? The first one is on clarity. Clarity is king. Clarity is king. Without clarity, you will not be able to align to the things that you desire. So a quick backstory, if you think about Alice in Wonderland, right? So she's walking around and she's going through the forest and she meets this, she comes across, there's tons of signs everywhere, right? There's signs and she could go left, right, this right, up, down, all over the place. And she wonders which way she should go. And what happens, right? You remember the Cheshire Cat appears and she asks the cat, which way do I go? And he says, well, it doesn't matter. Any road you take will get you to wherever it is you are going. And I thought about that and I thought, how many times in life do we just pick a path without being clear? We just stay busy. We're productively procrastinating. We're doing a lot of things and spinning our wheels and not going anywhere. So today, we want you to get really clear on your goals. First, the outcomes. Then, once you learn about the outcomes, so today, yes, it is. We need to know where you're going, what you want to attain or have or become. Secondly, behind that are systems and strategies and steps. So behind every goal is a system or a strategy or a step. And those steps and strategies and systems will lead you to attain those goals. Now, the most important thing that we can do is become the person that is capable of living in integrity all the time with our systems and structures and strategies. So the goal becomes second nature and it's just a byproduct of who we are. So first off, we're going to go through a process to help you get clarity on your goals. Some of you hopefully have already done that. Who's all mapped out your goals for this year? Just curious. Anybody mapped out some goals? Some of you may not. Okay, some of you have. Great. So we're going to help you get even more clear. And even if you've done this, this is a review then. We're going to help it solidify. And then once we solidify it, we're going to map out what structures, systems, or steps you need to take in order to attain that. And then once you have that, we're going to map out who do you need to become in order to make that goal a part of who you are. And then once we know the identity of who you're becoming this year, then we're going to do some alignment processes, which is a tapping and breathing process. And I'll teach it to you and I'll give you some context. And we're going to help you tune in to the frequencies of the identity that you want to become. Very cool. Sound fun? So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I'm going to bring some passion. I hope you bring some passion. It's like 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Some of you, it might be a little later. So maybe take some drinks, some exercise. We're like hunkered down. We're going to like crush this out and have an amazing time together. And at the end of this, for those of you who are interested, I am going to open up some spots for conversations with me.
Oh, yeah.
So if you would like to explore further and learn full, like the process or go through the challenge, then I'll open up some slots and you can book a consultation with me and it'll be for free. So I do have limited space. And so just stay tuned for that. And then I'll send you the link at the end. Cool. All right, let's dive in. Very cool. This is exciting. Okay, what are your goals? Let's craft this out. And this is going to rock your world. My intention today is that by the time you're done, if you want to have that intention as well, you will have more clarity on what you want, more clarity on who you are going to be, and you will feel more in tune and integrity with that person. So that leaving this webinar, you will be able to go into tonight, tomorrow, the next day, and feel different. You will be different. You will act different. You will think different, and you will do differently so that this year can be one of the best years of your life. That's my intention. Hopefully you have a great intention. Let's go. All right. So I'm going to switch the cameras here and we're going to do some writing. HD. Okay. All right. Everybody still hear me okay? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, let's do this. So we're going to start backwards. So we're going to start with the goal in mind. And we're going to start with certain categories. So your New Year's goals, what goals do you have? I want you to write them down and in this order. So we're going to have your relationship goal. Okay. We're going to have your health. We're going to have your financial. And we're going to have spiritual. And then any other goal that you want. Okay. So some of it might be like going places, travel, things like that. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably spent 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Some of you may have taken like 3 or 4 hours, like mapping out all your goals. So I want us to focus on some of the core ones. So you don't have to have every single goal that you want to achieve this year, but at least map out, what do you want to have your relationships look like this year? The more specific, the better. Why? Because if vague things, so when I go general and I'm like, I want to improve my relationships, I want to have a lot of money, I want to be rich, I want to have lots of things, I just want to feel better. All those are generalizations. And when we go vague or generalize, it's actually an avoidance tactic, which is literally pushing away the very thing that we want. So if I go vague, it's because some part of me doesn't believe it. Some part of me maybe might feel guilty sharing it. Some part of me might feel judged. And we avoid those feelings. Those are actually the things that we want to confront, we want to align, so that as you set your goals, you can let go of the baggage and embrace your identity. So let's dive in. And what are your relationship goals? It could be with your spouse, with your parents, your kids, your loved ones, finding somebody. But I want to know, what is your number one like focus relationship wise? Okay. So go ahead, drop it in the chat box. And let's just set this context, since everybody's kind of new and doing things. Can we all agree, just some ground rules real quick? Because we're all strange, some of us are strangers, some of you don't know each other's messages, some of you are going to be really vulnerable. Can we all agree to hold a really safe and respectful space so that whatever someone's goal is, that we honor it, we support it, and not judge it? Is that cool? Can everybody agree to that? Yeah? Okay. Awesome. Second rule is we're going to have a lot of fun today. So if you're not used to having fun, or you don't like to have fun, maybe change the way you think about having fun. Breakthrough work, transformation, attaining goals is super fun. So is confronting things that we avoid and growing and expanding. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. If you'd like that. So if you're cool with that, everybody okay and excited to have some fun today? Yeah? Drop a comment if so, give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. And the third thing, so we're going to have high levels of respect, have a lot of fun, and I'm going to invite you to participate. Be all out today. Okay, so I know you might have pre-knowledge of a lot of things. My goal isn't here to wow you. It's to help you get results. So I'm going to ask you and invite you to set all your previous knowledge aside for a moment, open your mind and your body to learn something new, or apply something new, or just apply something old that you haven't been doing. That way you can go into this and be completely open and ready to receive. So cool with that too? So you guys game with that? Yeah? Sweet. Okay. All right, mind is open, sweet. Okay, relationships. The more specific, I really want you to hone in on this. What is your goal relationship-wise? Okay, next, we want to dive into So hopefully you already have that. So go ahead, and I'm going to give you like a minute or two on each of these because we got to go kind of fast so we can get to the actual aligning of this. So we've got a lot of material. So first off, relationship. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds just because I already mentioned this, but what is your goal? Tune in, really think about it. What is the main goal that if you achieve this year in your relationships, you would feel amazing? Looking back on this year, you're looking back, it's 2022, you're looking back on 2021 and you're like, wow, this is what my relationship looks like. What would that be? So go ahead, write that down as clearly as possible, as specific as possible, and you have 30 seconds. Ready and go. Cool. I'm going to read some of these. I want to become my own best friend. That's awesome. Have a more fun, loving, and passionate, spontaneous relationship with my spouse, more at peace. That's awesome. Find a good, healthy, romantic life partner. Beautiful. I want to improve my communication in all my relationships and feel very connected to each person. Good. Pure love for self and others. Develop deeper relationships of fun with my children and grandchildren. I want to have a circle of high-level people with my team. Very awesome. Love it. Okay. All right. Next one. Health or physical well-being. What do you want your health or physical well-being to be like? So imagine a year goes by, you've lived 2021, you've aligned, you've just really stepped up your energy, you've found the solutions you need. What would have to happen in your health? The number one thing in your health or in your physical well-being for you to say, wow, this was the most incredible year of my entire life. You've got 1 minute, ready and go. Health, physical well-being. What is that for you? Again, you've got 1 minute. So health, physical well-being, what is it? Very specific, very succinct. And again, if you've already got these down, awesome. It should come as if it's like ingrained in your soul. And by the end of this year, it should be still ingrained in your soul. Okay. If you forget and you're like, I don't really remember what my goal was, then it wasn't really a goal. It was just a wish. So these are solid goals that you are going to attain. Okay. You might not know how, but we're going to help you with that. Okay, drink all the recommended amount of, let's see, get rid of my chronic cough. I drink all the recommended amount of water and exercise every day. Clear skin, heal thyroid, lose 20 pounds. Consistently exercise, eating healthy, lose 30 pounds. Get into shape, great fitness regimen. Cool. Energy, run a mile and still feel vibrant, physically fit, release 10 pounds. Sweet. These are great. Okay. Well done. Virtual round of applause so far for everybody participating. Okay, next thing, financial. What has to happen? Imagine you've gone through this year, you've embraced new skills, you've become who you're meant to be, who you knew you wanted to be, maybe from last year, but now you have fully embodied that. You've had the support, you've had the help, and a year has gone by and you look back and you say, wow, financially, this is what happened. What would make you come so alive, would just turn you on, excite you, and get you so motivated thinking about what you attained? Go ahead. You've got 1 minute. Jot that down financially. What is your financial goal for this year? Ready and go. 1 minute. Cool. Find the perfect job. eBay, make 10,000 a month and keep 5K in savings, 6 figures, upgrade my vehicle. Boom. Love it. Keep them coming. Financial. Remember, clarity is king. So, or queen, whatever you want. So clarity, clarity, clarity. Obtain a position making more money, cash in on my settlement easily and effortlessly. Cool. Okay, 20K a month easily and effortlessly. Got it. Have money left over each month. Funding my own business to become rich. Okay, so on some of these, I'm going to invite you to be even more specific, like a quantity. So like having a lot or making a lot of money or funding, those can be very vague, right? So we want the more specific, the better, because it's going to cause you to confront more allergies and addictions. And that's actually going to get you the goal. Okay. All right. Very cool. Big round of applause, virtual round of applause for sharing and all the different goals. Thank you so much for sharing that. Next one, spiritual goal. Your number one spiritual goal. If you could really embrace your spirituality this year and really connect to your higher power or the universe or whatever your belief system is, what state of being, how would you want to feel? Like for you to feel like you've attained the highest level that you could this year, what would have to happen for you spiritually this year for you to say, yes, I have attained my goal and it has been amazing? Go ahead. You got 1 minute. Drop it in the chat box and begin. Cool. We got feeling worthy and seen by source. That's awesome. That's powerful. Develop my psychic ability. Boom. I love it. I want to recognize how I hear him. Very cool. These are great. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Says, trust my divine intuition. I want to recognize how I hear him, and I want to walk his path. Very cool. Okay, keep them coming. 11 seconds. Meet in person my Redeemer, see his face. Beautiful. Hear and follow my situation. I'm connected to source and hear his guidance. Be more spiritually in tune. Develop my gift, healing more fully. Very cool. Okay, virtual round of applause for sharing all those goals. Well stated. Awesome job. Okay, next one. Anything else that is important to you? I know you have a lot of different goals, but one, if you think about attaining all those things, is there something else that you feel like you would really want to attain or have or do this year for you to say, this year has been so incredible? Okay, so think about that. You have 1 minute. Ready and begin. Just any topic, anything else, what else? Go ahead, drop it in the chat box. Travel to Canada on a train expedition. Can I get a goal for COVID to be gone? Sure, if that's your goal. To be my authentic self, discover my purpose, find to my purpose and mission in life. Know I'm heading in that direction. Very cool. start building my tribe, vital energy, be able to forgive, provide my son without a time of financial deficit to purchase our firm. Very cool. Beautiful. Farm and build our dream home and healing center. I love it. Okay. Love to be able to do something to change food. Desserts. Very cool. Love it. Okay. All right. So now that we have some more clarity on what it is that you want to attain, I'm going to invite you to think for a moment about obtaining those things. Can you see yourself doing those things? Just imagine a moment. You can close your eyes if you want, but just allow yourself to see it in your mind as you think about attaining these things with your relationships, your health, your finances, your spirituality, these other goals. And imagine what it would feel like to attain those things. Imagine how you'd show up. Imagine how you'd communicate. Imagine how you would connect with other people. So go ahead and imagine that for a minute or 30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds and just tune in to really embrace that feeling of what it would be like to fully obtain those things. So you have 30 seconds, imagine, feel it, try to just evoke the emotion, ready and begin. So really let it be real. The mind and body is a powerful thing. What we imagine tends to happen. The problem is we tend to imagine a lot of not ideal things. So this is a time to train your brain and your body to focus and align and imagine. And we're going to actually do some hardcore aligning here in a second. But at least we're just training the brain right now to tune into what you want and how it feels in your body of how it feels. Okay. Very good. And I know we're kind of rushing this. I know ideally I'd love to have you do this for like 5-10 minutes each, but all right. So now that it's a little bit more real in your mind, I want you to, we're going to map out, we're going to take a minute on all these for your relationship goal. What step? Okay. And here's some context. To every goal, there are certain steps or paths that we take in order to receive the thing that we want. Many times it's a doingness, sometimes it's a state of beingness. And for your relationship goal, if you had created some steps to attain that goal, let's take somebody's example. Somebody want to throw down their relationship goal? What's a relationship goal? First one, and I'll just take it and we'll run with it. Want a boyfriend. Okay, boom, we'll do that one. So let's say the relationship goal is to have a boyfriend. Okay, so what systems or steps would I need to take in order to create that, in order to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? So I want you to think about that. Ideally, so it might be like, okay, maybe I'll need to seek to date. Maybe it might be I need to work on myself to be open to have another person in my life. Maybe it might be to heal from some old things. Maybe it might. So there's going to be steps to take along that journey or systems to put in place. Maybe it's going to be to network or to go onto apps, things that you put into your life that systematically will allow that to happen very quickly. So what kind of systems or steps do you need to have in place? I just want you to think about it, jot it down. And this might be a little hard for some of you, but that's okay. Just try as much as you can. It doesn't have to be right. Just what systems or steps would you need to take in order to allow that goal to happen sooner than later? So you got 1 minute on relationships. Ready and begin. And you can drop that in the comments. Good. So allow yourself to come up with the answers, the ideas. What kinds of systems or steps could you implement in order to get on toward that goal and make it happen sooner than later? Great. Release fear, accept attraction, love myself, anti-app networking or anti-app networking. I just want to clear, do some journaling, send out invitations, join organizations. I like those. Really sweet. Find a matchmaker. I love it. Okay. Very cool. Round of applause, virtual round of applause for all those answers. Very good. Very good. Next one is health. Think about your health. What kind of systems or steps would you need to take in order to attain your health goals faster, sooner than later? So think about that goal, think about that thing, think about it being really real, and ask yourself, okay, what kind of systems would I need to implement every day or every week or every month to live and do in order for that to happen sooner than later? Okay, so you have 1 minute, ready, and begin. And again, really take time for this. I know this is kind of tedious, but we're going somewhere with this. I'm laying the foundation because then once we get into the becomingness, then we're going to do some aligning and make some big shifts so that you can live this in a state consistently without the resistance. So just stick with me. I know sometimes it's like, oh, why are we doing this? Where is this going? But if you stick with this, it will work and it'll be super phenomenal. Cool. So track the water, start with small goals, then add monthly, set reminders, make time to do the stretches and exercises, take my supplements, get the sugar out of the house and more good food choice in the fridge, take 5 to 10 minute breaks throughout the day, implement aerobic stretching breath. Love it. These are great. Okay. Very cool. Virtual round of applause. Thanks for sharing all these amazing structures and strategies. I love it. Love reading them. Okay. Next one, finances. What systems or steps do you need to implement in order to attain your financial goals? So think about your financial goal. Think about the thing that you want to have happen. What systems, what structures, what steps do you need in place in order to do that? You have 1 minute, ready, and begin. Okay, we got finished licensing, apply the rule of 56. Investments. Find investors, invest in market. Good. All right. Set money aside, change spending habits, do more classes, share more, follow up with clients and customers. Under me company, list 3 times per week on eBay. Love it. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Virtual round of applause, everybody. Go ahead and give a virtual round of applause. Awesome job. And I know it's kind of like, hey, why are we doing virtual round of applauses? But hey, if we were in the same room, I'd have you like turn and give an I five, since we can't touch, right? So it's like, hey, like everybody give virtual high fives and like, yay. So we're trying to bring the energy on online as best as possible. So you guys are doing awesome. Thanks for participating. All right. So finances next. Spirituality. What systems, structures, steps do you need to have in place in order to fully embrace that goal towards your spirituality? 1 minute, ready, and begin. Good. And if you're one of those who already has everything all mapped out, you already know this, I'm going to invite you to go deeper on it. Like really get present to your goal and ask, is there anything else? Like what more? Even in a minute's time, if you focus in a very short amount of time, it's better to focus in 1 minute than to try to think about something for 10 hours being distracted. Like you will get more done by hyper focusing and getting it really specific than already being, I know that, or distracted. Okay. Well done. So let's see some of these. Feel divine love, listen to great music, being in nature daily. Love it. Very, very cool. All right. I need to write down what I plan to do and then follow up with what it was, accomplish, and take time to listen. Beautiful. Okay, virtual round of applause, everybody. Virtual round of applause to all those shares. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Okay, last thing, the thing that you are like, hey, this would be something else that I'd love to achieve. That thing, what systems, steps, or structures or strategies do you need to have in place for that to happen sooner than later? Ready? And 1 minute, begin. All right, so we got learn biofeedback software, set systems in place, be consistent with boundaries and schedule. Great. Decide where to go, set money aside, get a dog sitter, and get time off work. Love it. All right, very cool. Virtual round of applause to all the shares. Well said, well done. Okay. With that, before we move on to the next segment, I just want to open this up. I want to hear some voices. I get a little tired of just hearing myself. I'm like, is everybody really hearing me? Like, is this live? So let's open this up. Unmute yourself, and I want to hear at least 3 shares of what you've gotten so far, just out of what we've done up to this point. So who'd like to share?
So, Tyler, this is Jody.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, so are you wanting just some steps that we're taking? Is that what you're asking?
I would just love to know what you're getting out of this so far for you. Like as you've been going through this simple clarity process, what are you gaining from doing this? What are you learning about yourself? What are you experiencing?
Okay, for me, it's actually just what you said, writing it down and making it a goal versus having it just in the back of your mind or, oh, that would be nice.
I agree, Jody. Thank
Very
you.
cool. Very cool. Yeah. So making it more real.
Becoming
Yes.
more clear while making it real.
Very cool. Okay. Who else? Let's get 2 more shares.
Right here. This is
Yeah.
Mary.
Hey, Mary.
I'm reminded that, I've known of doing imaging and you create it in your mind and you express gratitude and then you envision it and everything else. And it's like, well, I know this. Let's return to that and let's do it.
Boom. Yeah. Very cool. I love it. Success is not a hard thing, but it's doing all the things that we already know that we just don't do. So yeah, that was well put. Okay. Who else? One more share. Doreen says what I'm gaining is specificity and goal setting. Very cool. Let's get one more audible share just so I can hear some good voices.
I'll share.
Go ahead.
So when you had us close our eyes and feel, I got so relaxed. It was like, this feels good. This is where I want to be.
I love it. Boom. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Virtual round of applause to all those shares. Thank you guys and girls and everybody. Thank you. Okay. So now we're going to move to the next piece. So I'll mute everybody just so everybody's all muted. All right. And then we're going to go back to the other camera. Okay. Moving the mic. All right, here we go. So with this next piece, let's describe a little bit before we dive in. What is, when you hear the word becoming or identity, what does that mean to you? And you can go ahead and unmute yourself for this or just type it in the chat box. But we really need to define this before we dive into it. When you think identity or becoming, what does that actually mean? So let's get a couple shares. Mary says it's a process. Okay. Good. So what does it mean? Identity or becoming. What's that definition?
I think it means that it's how we perceive ourselves. It's how we, whether it's things that were said as we were children growing up and took on things that maybe we wouldn't have in the beginning. But I think it grows into this perception of how we perceive ourselves to be.
Good. So how we perceive ourselves. That's a very good definition. What else?
And how others see us on top of that, and how we think others see us.
Okay. Yeah, very cool. That's good. So how others see us, but also how we think others see us. Very good. A to B, but where we want to be in the middle, where we are in the middle, let's say A to B, where are we in the middle of the middle? How I share myself with others. It's more about being than doing. Okay. Okay. Good. So when we think about identity, it's a perception of ourself. Good. It's maybe how we perceive others perceive us, right? It's a way of being. And how I see identity, when I think of an identity, it is almost as if it is a role. It's like, this is who I am. This is part of what makes me me. So like you could have an identity as like, I am a dad, right? And a lot of identities are I am based. So like, I am a dad, I am a husband, I am a whatever, fill in the blank, right? So the difference is when we think of I am something and really believe that we are something, for example, my daughters, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and this is fascinating to watch them play. And sometimes we're like, okay, girls, come to the dinner table. And my 3-year-old, she's like, I'm not a girl, I'm a dog. And she's like playing like as a dog, right? But in her mind, she is 100% a dog. She's like, if you're like, hey, Abigail, come to the dinner. She's like, I'm not Abigail, I'm a dog. And I'm like, okay, all right, doggy, come to the table, please. And then she'll do it, right? Because they're so good as kids. We move into an identity, we play it, it's exciting. And then we take on another identity, and we take on another, and we take on another. But what happens is, as we go through life, we're told what? We're told so many things. Be quiet, not too loud, don't do that, stop hurting. And the things that we try to embrace, and then we have rules or self-imposed rules or consequences that happen, then we label these identities with those consequences. So now something that might have been fun is dumb. Something that might have been super liberating is now not appropriate. Something that might have been so exciting now is sad. And as we go through life, many of us take on these emotions tied to these identities that once was really fun and easy to embrace. And now, as adults, it can seem very difficult to change because we get used to a certain way of being and doing. So the goal of being able to change your identity is huge, because if you can change your identity of who you are, then how you act is simply a byproduct of that. So if I'm overweight, it's not just because of the goal of trying to lose weight that I haven't lost the weight, or not even the systems or the structure, but it's because I haven't identified myself as someone who is healthy, someone who loves my body and just doesn't take on weight. If that was my identity, then all my actions around it of eating or exercise or valuing my body or confronting the things that I'm avoiding, they would happen as a byproduct of me identifying myself as someone like that, as healthy. Or let's say it's like, instead of saying, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month, or I want to make multi-millions, right? Instead of thinking that, what if you embrace the identity of, okay, I am a multiple six-figure earner, or I am a multi-millionaire, and embrace that identity. And if you think of that as an identity, it's literally someone to become. That kind of identity is packaged with their feelings, their thoughts, and their actions. And there might be multiple ways to do it, but it still is a packaged thing. So it's like, oh, if I'm not that identity, then obviously this is not that identity. So then the goal is, how do I become that person to make the goals happen sooner than later? You guys following this? Is this making any sense? I need to see some heads nodding, thumbs down, thumbs up, like total confusion, chaos. Like, okay, got it. Heck yeah, sweet. Very good, very good. All right. Well, let me add some more people here. Admit. All right. So with that, I want you to be thinking of this. Now, I did this exercise, and just to give you some context of some things that I wanted to become this year, I wrote down all my goals. I wrote down a lot of the systems instructions, like who would I identify myself as? And I thought, last year I had a goal to get a six-pack, get totally ripped. I didn't do it. I got to where I started like in end of December. I was like, oh man, I gotta hit my goals. And I was like, okay, I gotta like start working. And then it was like, oh, it was right before Thanksgiving. And then I was like, shoot, all these lots of eating foods and all this stuff. And I was like, man. So I realized the reason I didn't hit my goal is I didn't identify myself as I am a super fit, ripped guy. Like I identified myself as I'm a dad who has gotten kind of lazy. So that's who I had become. So I didn't identify myself as a hardcore workout ripped dude. And that's why I didn't attain that goal. I also fell short on making $1 million in less than a year. That was one of my goals. And I realized, even though I got more momentum than ever before, we did really well, and I got a lot of systems in place, part of me felt like I could have really done it. I really could have. But there was a lot of times where I was lazy. I procrastinated. I didn't put in all my effort. I didn't give it my all. And I look back on that and I say, why did I do that? It was because I didn't identify myself every day as living as a multimillionaire and really embracing that identity to fully believe it, live it, act it, do it, think it, and be it. I also had some struggles. I look back into some of my other goals was I wanted to be really spiritually in tune more than any other year before. And I looked at it and there were times where I was, but there was a lot of times where I wasn't. And I realized that the times where I wasn't, it was because I let go of that identity. And I tuned back into my old identity of lazy, procrastination, not really in tune, and distracted. And the times where I was super in tune and really having amazing spiritual experiences was when I fully embraced the identity that I listen and I receive, and I'm a person who is of integrity, and I do what it takes to connect to God and trust in Him more than anything else. And I didn't fully embrace that. So as a spouse, I had to look at that and say, okay, did I hit my goal? Why or why not? As a dad, did I hit my goal? As a business owner, as a body owner, as a home owner. So all these things, like, did I really embrace the identity behind it? And all the goals that I didn't hit, it was because I didn't fully embrace the identity. You guys following that? Okay. So how many of you are ready to identify yourself as the person you know you're meant to be, to attain your goals, to make it second nature? You guys down with that? Let's do this. All right, cool. It's like Thursday afternoon or night.
Yes.
We're like going to crush this out. Sweet. So here's some of my, my identities. I've also had this weird identity. So we've went from a place of super poverty to multi hundreds of thousands, and to wanting to do, and we've created over 1 million in less than 3 years, but it was over a course of 3 years. So now I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to own my own home, but part of me has always been super terrified of actually owning my own home. So we've always rented, and we almost bought one like 3 times, and I kept backing out, and I was like, oh, we'll buy it later. And so I realized one of my identities that I never really wanted to embrace is I'm a homeowner. I was like, that feels really weird to me, like owning that, to say I am a homeowner. Also, one of them is I'd always had a really negative definition around like vans. So it's like, oh no, I'm the van dude. And so now I'm like, this year, because we have a baby due in like 2 weeks, I'm a van owner. So like that's gonna be the next one. So I've got some really fun goals. So some of them are, I'm a house owner. I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a fit, ripped, healthy workout dude. I'm a present, romantic, and creative husband. I'm a proactive, understanding, fun father. I am rich in all my thinking and doing. I'm a van owner. I'm a systematic business owner. I'm a funnel master. I'm a master sales team leader. I am a 1,200 word per minute speed reader and comprehender. I'm a finisher. I'm a great memorizer. I'm super good with names and faces and people. I'm a New York Times bestseller. I'm a sought after partner for joint ventures. I'm an amazing student and fast learner and implementer and love to study. I'm an amazing team leader with motivated, self-driven people. I'm the world's most sought after breakthrough specialist alignment master. I am present, focused, and everything I do feels like a game of excitement. I am a $300,000 a month income producer. I only tolerate the best of what I want. And so some of these get into more affirmations, but the I am statements, those are more of identities. So we're going to help you embrace some of your identities today. Then we're going to to wrap this up, we're going to do some aligning to help you fully believe that this is real. So it's not just an affirmation. It's not just a hope. It's not just put out there. So what happens is behind every single word is a definition. So all those words have meaning. And the reason we don't fully embrace an identity is because some part of us has identified or interpreted one of those words as causing some form of harm or pain. So for me, if I haven't become a 1,200 word per minute speed reader, and I've been trying to do speed reading for years, and I bought a bunch of programs and I've done a lot of stuff, but I still haven't gotten my speed reading up. Part of me still feels like I'm a slow learner. Like it's hard for me to read fast and comprehend fast. Why? Because sometime in my past, I believed it. Someone told it to me and I had evidence against it. So then I identified myself as someone who was a slow learner. So then if I set a goal to be a fast learner, part of me fears it because now I have to confront this reality inside that, oh, wait, but my past says that I'm a slow learner. So it makes me have to confront my emotions. So what do? Instead of setting the goal, I don't. And then I just embrace and live in what's comfortable. So a part of changing, fully changing, is to change how you perceive the words of what you want and how your body reacts to those words. So if I set a goal to be a multimillionaire, but in my brain, multimillionaire is difficult. It's a sacrifice of family. It's a sacrifice of time. It's I've attempted before and I failed. Then when I set that goal, what do I re-stimulate? Those very same emotions. So tied to multimillionaire would be failure, fear, doubt, hesitation, past struggle, letting go of family. So then why would I want that? I wouldn't. So what do? I don't become a multimillionaire. So in order to actually attain your goals, we must change how we perceive them and how your body reacts to them, which is here in a minute, after we go through our identities, I'm going to show you a little process called the abundance alignment technique. Some of you are learning it. Some of you have no idea what the heck that is, but it's a simple process to pinpoint those fight, flight responses, those interpretations, and change them through breath and through tapping. And it's a very powerful technique and it's going to be super awesome. Okay. All right. Questions up to so far? Is everybody good? Does that give some context at least? We all game? All right, let's move on. Identity. So now it's your turn. Regarding your relationship, thinking about your systems, thinking about the goal, who do you need to become? What identity do you need to embrace this year to make it second nature? You have 1 minute. Ready and begin. Thirty seconds. Dynamic, fun leader. Very cool. What else? Keep them coming. Who do you need to become to make your relationship a reality. I am a good listener. I love connecting with people. I am enough. Very cool. Boom. I'm a beautiful, divine, loving goddess. Boom. Love note writer. Yeah, so I'm a love note writer. Boom. I need to be open to a new love. So I am open, right? So I am an open, right? Cool. Very cool. Big round of applause to all those answers. Virtual round of applause. Okay. So instead of saying I need to, you're embracing the identity. Okay. So if someone did forgive and accept themselves and laughed more, what kind of person would that be? How would that, what identity is around them? So you gotta train, instead of thinking I need this, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. Those are doingnesses. They're not beingnesses. So instead of thinking I need to do this, or I need to have that, or I need to embrace this, or I need to let go of that, we're still stuck in the doing. To be is very different, because when you are something, the doingnesses are second nature. I hope you guys are getting this, because this is making sense. Like this is by far something that if you don't get, it'll be very difficult for you to attain your goals. Is this making sense on the difference there? Okay. I'm loving and kind. Very cool. Attract, fun, loving. Okay. Awesome. Next one. Let's dive in. Health and body. What is your identity that you need to become who you are? So I am, in order to attain those goals, live those systems, and actually get that goal. You got 1 minute, ready, and begin. Ten seconds. I'm healthy in body. I'm vibrant, fun, and active. I'm in right sized body, attracted to nutritional foods, amounts to sustain. I'm physically strong and flexible. I'm energetic, flexible. Very cool. Very cool. And as you're thinking about this, remember, try to look at this as, because even sometimes we tie the I ams to doing, like I am flexible. But if you're like, I am a flexible person. So it's like thinking about it as like, no, this is a real identity, right? So it's like, I am happy. No, I am a happy person all the time. Like that is an identity instead of just a one-time thing, right? So when you're thinking about this, it can be, our natural tendency might be to embrace it for a moment, but a true identity is something that permeates and lasts. So remember that as you're creating these identities, it's something who you are, and it's like a forever thing. So like when I think about, I am an author, right? So I am a writer. And I think about that and I'm like, ooh, like I don't really like to write. I didn't till now I'm a writer. So I'm like, I am a writer. I have to think like a writer. I need to enjoy writing. I am a writer. So now it's like creating a whole new way of thinking, right? Around your identity. Okay, very cool. Next one. Finances. Who do you need to be? What is the identity that you are taking on to become so that you can create what you want, live the systems, implement the structures and strategies to attain that goal, right? So finances, you have 1 minute, ready and begin. I'm a profitable eBay seller. I'm a great dog trainer. I love money. I'm a person who saves. I'm a 20K a month income producer. Boom. Love it. I am an attractor of financial abundance. I'm at peace and calm in my wealth. Great. And instead of just being states like I am at peace, so it would be like I am a peaceful and calm person, right? So it's like I am a peaceful and calm person in my wealth, right? So it's still, because sometimes we use I am as like not necessarily identities, but more of doingnesses. So remember, as you're doing it, as you're creating the identity, we want it to be more of the being, like as a person, as a human being. Okay, that's a subtle difference, but it makes all the difference in how you think and feel about that thing. Very cool. Big round of applause to all those shares. Virtual round of applause. Yes. Okay. Spirituality. Identity. Ready and begin. 1 minute. Spirituality. You guys are doing great, by the way. Keep it up. Spirituality. I'm God's girl and we communicate often. I'm a fast learner and still am able to receive. I'm a receiver of spiritual guidance. Promptings. Scroll up so I can see that one. Insightful supporter. I'm listening and heeding promptings. Good. I'm in tune with the divine. I am spiritually and consistent, connected to the source. Good. And again, remember with those phrases like I am in tune with the divine, to make sure that that feels like it's more of an identity. So it's like I am an in tune person. Like I am a person who's always in tune with the divine. So it's like so it feels more like an identity instead of just a feeling or an emotion. Cool. Very good. Okay, big round of applause for all those. Very good. Very good. And now for your other goal that you set, whatever goal that you wrote down, who do you need to be? Who is it that identity to take on? Ready and 1 minute. Begin. And then again, right after this, we're going to open it up for some chat and then we're going to start aligning. So it's going to be super powerful. Good, Mary. I'm laughing and enjoying the companionship of my loved ones. I'm a proficient user of my biofeedback device. I'm organized and efficient. Very good. Okay. I'm a world traveler. Love it. Okay, virtual round of applause. Well done. You guys did it. We know now some of our identities. Okay, so I'm just going to open this up. I just want to hear a couple takeaways. Then we're going to dive into the alignment portion of this webinar. So let me hear at least 3 takeaways so far from what you're getting out of this previous things that I've said. So unmute yourself or jot it in the comments, but I'd love to hear some voices.
So yeah, this is Doreen. It's like my brain is like suddenly kind of melting down, and which is an indication that things are shifting and changing. If I'm like feeling like a blank slate.
Cool.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks for sharing.
Sure.
Yeah, awesome. Who else? Let's get 2 more shares. What are you gaining from this so far? Takeaways, ahas, insights. Vicky says it's amazing that we can get clear on so much in such a short time. I know, right? It's so crazy. Most of us spend days and weeks trying to figure out what we want, but getting really direct makes all the difference. Very cool.
Tyler, this
Yeah.
is Betty.
Hey, Betty, go ahead.
Thanks. I am learning so much about how to do things in a totally different way than I've thought of before. It's amazing.
Wow. Cool. Could you expand on that? Like what's 1 or 2 ways that you're thinking differently?
Well, my 5th goal is a business goal.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing as how the business is there and has been there for 3 weeks, and there's been several blockers in my way, there aren't any blockers in 2021. And so I am capable of making that business successful.
Boom. I got like this chill when you were talking. That was awesome. Love it. Thank you so much. Okay, who else? Mary says, when you come from an I am really it really becomes being. As I come from I am, it is as if I've already happened and I am claiming it. Beautiful. Yeah. Let's get 1 more audible share.
Really worked on clarifying the I am statements to making it more of an identity than an action step or a want.
Cool. Yeah. Having that switch being more of an identity. Very powerful. Okay. All right. Big round of applause to all the comments. Thanks for sharing. Okay, you guys ready to start doing some aligning? So for those of you who have no context to alignment, real quick backstory. I 2 years ago, almost 2.5, 3 years ago, after investing like $400,000 in different breakthrough processes and going through things from meditations to hypnosis to past regression stuff to colors things to all sorts of great things, breakthrough processes and firewalking and arrow breaking and board smashing and child regression and all sorts of fun things, tapping and root causal chasing and meditation and hypnosis and really great things. I got kind of tired of it all. And I was a little bit like, man, there's got to be a faster way. And after applying so many different techniques over the years, my wife had a gluten allergy for over 8 years. And I was like kind of down feeling in my business. And I thought, you know, when you get down, you try to turn to something that you're confident in or competent in to kind of boost your morale. So I was like, well, at least I can help my wife because I wasn't feeling like I was doing any good anywhere else. So I went to go work on her and help her with her gluten allergy. And I knew pulsing techniques and different allergy techniques. And I did it and it lasted for about a day. And then it went away. And I was like, man, even that sucks. Like I just felt really low. And I knew though, theoretically, the only reason she was allergic to gluten was because some part of her was allergic to it. And I know that sounds really simple, but if all parts of her were no longer allergic or pushing away the frequency of gluten, she should be able to eat gluten without any problems. So I thought, okay, for the next 9 months, I just dove in and studied all these different things about allergies and techniques and tried different things. And in the middle of the night, I woke up with an idea of how to take all the things that I had learned, put it into a system and a structure that would completely align her so that gluten wouldn't affect her. And I thought, will this work? So we did it, and it did. And an hour and a half later, she wanted to eat toast. She ate toast, no reactions. And I thought, well, is this just placebo? Does it work on other people? So then we started to do it on other people. And I worked on food allergies first. And we did a lot of like gluten, soy, lactose, peanuts, all sorts of different food allergies that people had. Some of them were so severe, like avocados, and people would have severe reactions and nothing. I was like, wow, like this is phenomenal. Celiac stuff. And thought, well, if it works so good with food, and all the basis is the theory is the only reason someone has a symptom is due to them being addicted to that symptom. If you align them, then they're no longer holding on to that symptom and they can let it go. So we started doing it on money. And I did it on having clients reach out to me and pay in full. And overnight, I had 4 people reach out that turned into $8,000 of sales. And it was out of the blue. And that hadn't happened in over 7 months, where it just out of the blue happened. And I was like, wow, does this work on other people? So then I did it on other coaches and other practitioners, and they got very similar results, where they had 10 new clients show up in a week, where another person doubled his income and made $30,000 in 2 weeks. Another person made their first $10,000 in a month. And then I was like, well, if it works on money, it works on health, or it works on food, does it work on relationships? So then we did it on relationships, and people struggling connecting to their spouse or their kids. And I had one lady, she aligned to her daughter and older, and over her whole 40 years of having her as a daughter, she had never gotten a letter from her, and she felt very unloved. She aligned to her, and a day later, she got a gratitude letter from her daughter, and she was just in awe. She was like, what? This has never happened. I thought, wow, that is so cool. From that to depression, to getting out of physical things, to feeling like I had a lady who hadn't loved herself since she could remember. And after aligning for the first time in her life, she looked in the mirror and never had a negative thought about herself. To getting out of depression, to having a guy who had cardiac arrest, not being able to see very well if in the light, couldn't hear very well, or if it was too loud. And if he walked and looked left or right, he'd fall over, and he could only function 4 hours a day. 5 years of this going on. And I thought, well, the only reason is because some part of him is still addicted to those symptoms and allergic to what he wants. So if he aligns, it will neutralize those fight-flight responses and allow him to choose his reality instead of it being forced upon him. So we aligned him. And sure enough, he's able to function over 8 hours a day, got rid of his earplugs, could see in the light, could turn left and right without falling over. And that's when I knew that we were onto something. So this is called the abundance alignment technique. It used to be known as the complete alignment technique or the abundance hacking technique. Today it's known as the complete alignment or the abundance alignment technique. And it's a simple process of tapping. So you're going to start here. So you're going to tap here, and you're going to go down all the way down to like your C7, and you're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And this is the basic form. The full version can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on how many things you got to check. You go into deep modes, you go into layers upon layers, check like over 400 different things. For the sake of the next 15 minutes, we're not going to do a full alignment. So we're going to do some basics, and I just want to get you to feel some shifts with this. For those of you who are interested in learning the full process, I'll drop a link if you would like to schedule a consultation with me and explore it. Or if you just want to learn some next level, then you can also book a consultation. I'll guide you to what you can do. Okay. But for those of you who do know this, you've experienced some of the power and some of you are just starting. So we're going to do what's called an intuitive alignment. And it's using the basic form of the alignment technique, pinpointing where you feel it and aligning it. So with this technique, you can align positives or negatives. It doesn't matter. Okay. So if I say a negative in a line, it's getting rid of the addiction to it. If I say a positive in a line, it's getting rid of the allergy to it. So it doesn't matter positive or negative. We do it both in this technique. Okay. Everybody clear so far? Good. Thumbs up. Yeah. Game to go. Good to go. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. So that's the context. Now we're going to actually do here's the basis of it. So you're going to tap here, breathe into the nose, out to the mouth. And you're going to do this 3 times. And then you're going to pant like a dog. And then you smile. That's the foundation of the technique. And what we're doing is every word has a frequency. As goofy as that seems, what happens is the moment we think or say a word, our body is creating an instantaneous reaction. And most of the time it's fighting it or flighting from it. So when I'm tapping and breathing, imagine that flight response is like the big stone being dropped and ripples in a lake. You just throw a stone down. So it's like you think about the identity you're becoming. So you're like, oh, I'm going to, I am a multimillionaire. And then all your negative thoughts about it, like just come up, right? And you're just like feeling all the tension and it doesn't feel real. And you feel like you're lying. Thousands of things could be going through your body. So what we do is by tapping and breathing, it's like dropping tons of little rocks around that big wave, and it neutralizes the wave. So it's peaceful. It's a state of peace. So no longer are you fighting it or flighting from it. No longer are you pushing it or holding on to it. Now it's your choice. So if you want to take on that identity, you can, and you can choose it without your past perceptions or reactions to the thing you want or don't want. And it doesn't matter right or left side. You're actually going straight down the middle. So it's and smile. Okay. If you do feel a little lightheaded, it's because you're not used to breathing. So go slower and you'll get better. And sometimes you get lightheaded if you have weird stuff come up. Just keep working through it. If you need to slow down, do that. Other things, you might have headaches, you might have pains that come up. Just keep doing it. It'll go away. Okay. So take care of yourself. Do not do this while operating any heavy construction or driving. So if you're all present and you're all aware, you guys commit to owning your own reactions, your own things. If you continue this process, positive or negative, this is of your own free will and choice. Yes? Okay. Awesome. 3 of you. Okay. 6 of you. There you go. Okay, cool. All right. So we're all good. All right. Let's do it. I'm going to drop to the other camera and I'm going to help you align to your identities. Oops. Let me change my camera. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take your identities. So everybody got some of your identities. You know which identities you're going to align to. And we're going to start by just vocalizing your identities out loud. And here's how you're going to do it. This is an intuitive version. So some of you, this might be difficult. That's all right. You're just going to practice and get better. Okay. Especially if this is your first time. We all have our first time. It's fun. It's awesome. You're going to love it. So here's how you're going to do it. You're going to state out loud. Let's say I'm going to be doing it on the relationship first. So then mine would be something like, okay, I am, let's see which one. I have a lot of identities I'm taking on. I am a present romantic and creative husband. So when I state it out loud, my goal is to really listen to my body at this time. or my mind. I am a present, romantic, and creative husband. So the moment I said romantic, and some of you might not even feel this because you haven't trained yourself to listen to your body. Some of you will get this instantly. You'll feel micro twitches, feelings in your body. So I'm a present, romantic, and creative husband. I had a feeling right here of a tension pop up on the word romantic. So some part of me is actually fighting that word or flighting from that word romantic. So I'm going to tap on that area where I feel it, and it might be different areas, and you can jump to different areas. So when I say my word out loud, I am a present, romantic, and creative husband. And I'm going to tap any resistance that I feel in my body, and then I'm going to align. And you can still tap with the other hand, just move if you want to, or you could not. You could just state the phrase and align. If you don't feel anything, totally cool. Just state the phrase and then align, whatever your phrase is. And then smile. Very good. So that's what we're going to be doing. So hopefully you did yours. I did mine. So now if you have another one on relationships, you could do that. Okay. So we're just going to kind of go at your own pace here. So I'm going to do one more on this. I'm amazing team leader with motivated, self-driven people. And then the more you think about it and try to make it more logical, the better. Like the more opposition you have, the better. So it's like the more you try to make it real, and then align. And try to hold it in your mind's eye as you're aligning. And smile. Good. So Bailene, we're not going to chunk two together on this one since we're doing intuitive and we're not doing the full thing. So just do each individually. It'll be worth it in the long run. Okay. Cool. So now go to the next one of your next identity. Okay. So for the next couple minutes, we're just going to go through this, go through each of your identities and voice each one. The slower you go, like be really present to the words and the reactions that they cause, and then align. Okay. Once we're done with that, then I'm going to take it to the next level, and then we're going to go to the next level twice, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. Okay. All right. So go through the next one. So whatever it is on health. So for me, I am a fit, ripped, healthy workout dude. I'm a fit, ripped, healthy workout dude. And smile. Good. If you have another one, go ahead and do that. I am present, focused, and everything I do feels like a game of excitement. Good. And then go through the next one. Finances. I am a multi-millionaire. And sometimes you might just repeat it just to check it. See if there's any other resistance. So if it was a big one that had a lot of resistance, you might just repeat it like, I am a multimillionaire. And any other physical resistance. You'll also have mental resistance. We're not going to work through that yet, but we're just doing the physical reactions right now to the words. I am a $300,000 income producer. I am a $300,000 per month income producer. Consistent. Consistent income producer. Good. And if you've gone all through your identities, then what you're going to do next, I still got a couple more that I'm going to do. I didn't go through all of mine for the sake of this webinar. But what we're going to do is if you've gone through them all and you're like, hey, just double check them, like state them. It should feel pretty real to you, and check to see if there's any more physical resistance. Okay. So just make sure that it feels really real. If it doesn't, then you didn't really align it, right? And again, we're just doing the intuitive version, which is a very simple, oversimplified version of this. But even with this, you should be able to get into a state of pretty good alignment with what you're doing, okay? I'm the world's most sought after breakthrough specialist alignment master. So Jessica says, what is the yawning about? Yeah. So what happens is, as we store, so the allergies and addictions contain mass. It literally takes up space inside of us, and it has a weight to it. So the moment that we release or align them, it's literally like burning it off. So it's a release of that. Many people cry, laugh, burp, pass gas. They do all sorts of stuff. Like, it's literally just a release process. So some people laugh, cry. It's all it is called, it's a burn off. So when the weight starts to dissipate and you catch it, then it'll literally just come out, and people feel that's why people literally do feel lighter. They feel less tension because it is gone. It like literally goes away. And do you keep tapping the spot as you align, or just tap it 3 times and then align? You can do both. You can do whatever you want. I like to tap the spot as I do it. And then if it moves, I like to move it to the next place. Okay. Vicky B says, my head shakes. Like right now, or when you're doing it, or what? Like when you're doing it? Yeah, that might be something to look into. If it is hard for you to do it on your head, you can also do it on the side of your thumb. So you can tap, like, imagine this being your head. So start here, go down here, but you do have to hit it a little harder than you would on your head. So it's sometimes the head shakes as a release. Yeah, that too. Good. If it's a release, cool. Just keep doing it. If it's due to a physical symptom, then you might switch to that. Very cool. Okay, good. Thanks for clarifying. Okay, good. How's everybody feeling so far? Just curious, what have you experienced just doing those couple rounds? Let's get a couple shares.
I feel extremely relaxed. Just like,
Very
wow.
Very cool. During uncoordinated. What are we doing? Ah! Yeah, it takes practice. You'll get better. Groggy. Lots of yawning, my focus and more possibilities. Some of them were really, I know that I'm this identity. Ooh, very cool. Getting into that knowing. I love it. Okay, let's get one more verbal share. Unmute yourself and share. I'd love to hear it.
I feel hopeful.
Hopeful. Good. Vicky B, like, I need to do more. Finish. Yeah. This is the intuitive, very simplified version. We're going to do a few more on the limiting beliefs side and then some positive ones. And that'll help feel like there's more closure to it. But again, like if you know the power alignment, you could do power alignment on these. If you know the full version, you could go literally and just write out all of them and do your whole alignment on all of them. And that would be really powerful, like a full alignment, because then you'd be then 100% aligned. And that's the goal, is to get 100% aligned. Okay. All right. So here's the next step. So think about your identities. Now we're going to be stating all of the limiting negative thoughts, beliefs that are countering them. Okay. So this is where we're going to need some group help. So think about your limiting belief, unmute yourself, shout it out, and we'll do about 2 at a time. So negative belief, align. Limiting belief, align. And tap anywhere where you feel it. Okay. So, great. We've got, I'm not enough.
I can't do it.
And I can't do it. Let's do those. I'm not enough and I can't do it. So think about your goal, all your identities. I'm not enough, and say it out loud. Like, it's okay. You're not going to reinforce this as a negative thing. It's already inside of you. This is just getting it out. So say it. I'm not enough and I can't do it. Tap anywhere where you resist it and then align. And smile. Good. Let's get 2 more.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic and it's not me. Okay. It's not realistic. It's not me. And it's not really real. It's not realistic. It's not me. It's not really real. I want you to say that, feel where you feel it when you say it, tap it, and then align it. It's not me. It's not real. And it's not realistic. And smile. Good. Let's get a couple more. What else? Negative thoughts, opposing. Think about your identities, taking them on this year.
This is impossible.
Good. Let's get 1 more, 2 more. This is impossible.
big.
It's too big. Good. This is impossible. It's too big. And I don't know enough. Let's do those 3. So I don't know enough. It's impossible. It's too big. Feel where you resist it. Think about your goals. I don't know enough. It's too big. It's impossible. It's too big. I don't know enough. Smile. Julie asks a good question. How does your body know the difference between a positive identity and a negative thought when doing the same aligning? It doesn't matter. It's just working on the fight, flight responses, the allergies and addictions. So if I say a negative that I'm addicted to or a positive that I'm allergic to, being in a state of alignment neutralizes the fight, flight responses. So I could say negatives and align and I'd have an amazing shift. I could say positives and align and I'd have an amazing shift, because it's not the statement, it's the reactions we have to the statements. That's what we're working on. Okay. All right. I have to do it all myself.
Too much to do.
There's too much to do. I have to do it all by myself, and I'm alone. I don't have the support I need. Go ahead and align. Tap where you feel it. I don't have the support I need. I'm alone. There's too much to do. Outside influences always interfere, like COVID and the government and everything else, and politics and media, and everything influences and interferes. And my family, COVID, the president, media, and I won't be able to do it. Something will interrupt it. And the great thing about this technique is you don't need to know root causes of this. You don't need to chase root causes or get to the core. I used to do a ton of that work. Literally, you just state it and align it. So this is way more effective in my opinion. Okay, let's do one more, and then we're going to switch to positives. Okay, so let's just do one more. People don't believe in me. People don't believe in me. This won't last tomorrow. It'll go away, and I can't maintain this. This won't last. I can't maintain this because I can never maintain my identities. And smile. Elizabeth asks, can I align the wrinkles? Don't see why not. Never tried it. That'd be cool. Everything's a frequency in my opinion. So if you have something that is not ideal, it's due to a frequency. So I know people can get rid of wrinkles. So it's a frequency, right? Everything can be changed. Okay. So now we're going to switch. Okay. Think about your identities. Think about what you're becoming. Think about those things. And now we're going to do ideal affirmations. So positive affirmations regarding this. So think about it. I got this. I can do this. And I will do this. I got this. I can do this. And I will do this. Tap any resistance and align. Or wherever you feel sensations, thinking about those phrases. And smile. Good. What other positive ideal phrases do you want to be more real when you think about this? This is easy. I have all the time I need to do this.
I am powerful.
And powerful. Good. I can do this easily and fast, and I have all the time I need. Breath in. And Roxana says, I have burning in my throat. Good. So tap that burning and align it. and smile. Good. I can do anything. Things come easily and effortlessly. Good. I can do it. I can do anything. This is my destiny. This is my destiny and my decision to make. This is my destiny and my decision to make. And I choose it today and forevermore. This is my destiny and my decision to make. And I choose it today and forevermore. And smile. This is my time. I do this regardless of any opposition or setbacks. This is my time. I become this and do this regardless of any setbacks. Yes, Suzanne, the answer is yes to that. Good. Okay, think about that identity. Think about those identities you're becoming. If you're a God believer, we're going to do this. And if you're a universe believer, you switch it out. God supports me and wants this for me. As
This is
do
my
I.
mission too. This is my mission.
And this is my mission. Good. This is my mission. God supports me and I support me and am supported by others.
I'm supported by others.
God supports me, I support me, and I'm supported by others on this mission. And it is my mission. And smile. Okay, let's get a couple shares. What are you experiencing? What are you feeling? What are you learning? What are you becoming?
I am excited.
Cool. So excitement. What else?
I'm relaxed.
Relaxed. Very good.
I yawned and cried a lot this time.
Yawned and cried a lot. Good. Yeah. So very cool. Monica, I'm renewed and ready to go. Beautiful. Love it.
Hey, Tyler, I have a question.
Yeah. What's up?
What if while you're tapping and doing the alignment, the pain, the discomfort or the pain travels to your opposite arm, but it's in a place you can't tap without interrupting the alignment?
You can mentally tap it, or you could just switch hands. Like, let's say I'm aligning and maybe it goes right here. So I could or it goes on my shoulder. So I could literally like just pause and go back to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or I could just do it or pause and then go back. So it's really pretty flowy. Like it doesn't have to be like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Very cool.
You feel lightheaded.
Lightheaded, you might not be used to breathing. That could be one. So a lot of people aren't used to this type of breath work. We're not used to breathing in general. Most people breathe very shallow. Most people are constricted all the time. So you want to get into a state where you could maintain this all day. I could literally do this all day because I've practiced, built my body up to it. At first, if you're not used to breathing, you might get a little lightheaded. You might feel a little off. So just slow your breath. Get your body trained. It could also be due to a release. So if it does feel like dizzy or lightheaded, tap it and then align that and see if that dissipates it. Okay. Very cool. Big round of applause to everybody so far. Way to go. So hopefully that at least gives a little bit more closure. Okay. So that's an intuitive alignment. You could continue all the negatives or positives, and you could go through more things. In the full version, it's much more in depth, where we literally cover like 400 different things. And so once you know what you want, and some of you have been through the full version, and it's amazing. So once you go through it, it does take practice to get good at it. So as you get better and better, you'll be able to pinpoint the things you want and align fully to those things. So for those of you, is there anybody interested in learning more, like the full version, or exploring in depth on how to take it to the next level? Is there anybody interested in that, just by show of hand or the comments? I know many of you already have some of it and already going through it. Okay, cool. So if you haven't learned the full version, then here, or you wanted to join the challenge or explore like next level type things, I am sending this link out. It's an alignment consultation. So this link will allow you to book for 30 minutes with me or one of my coaches. At this time, it's with me because my coaches are in training right now for the next couple of weeks. Depending on how much this recording's up, could be me, could be one of my coaches. So what this is you're going to book a session. It's free. If you're already a part of our higher tier programs, then you don't need to book a consultation. But if you're exploring next level, you're like, what do I need to do? What other options are there? What would the full alignment look like? How would I get the support I need? What type of things could I align to? And if that's you and you're not a part of our programs currently, then click that link, book a consultation. And in that consultation, what we'll do is, number one, gain clarity. Clarity is king. If you don't know where you're going, we don't know how to help you, or it's very difficult to get help. So if you're wanting that guidance to know what you need to do, where you need to go, then click the link, book a session. What we're going to do is it's an exploratory session. We're going to get clarity. Then based on that clarity, I will share with you a few different options. We have from free, where you could just join our Facebook group. If you just want to do that, you could literally go to tylerfb.com, tylerfb.com, join our Facebook group. If you want to get the support and help, we have two main options. One is a group method, or three main options. One is a 10-day challenge. It's like $100. It's amazing. We've had lots of people in here go through it. So I can hook you up with that. Number two is a group dynamic, which is a few $1,000 investment, well worth it. You'll make 10 times over the course of what you'll experience in it. Or the third option is a one-on-one intensive type option. And that's if you want higher level, specifically with me, pinpointing it, mapping it all out, unraveling all your allergies and addictions, and helping you confront them very quickly. So we have those three options available. If you are wanting that clarity and wanting to explore future options, click the link and book a session. In the session, if something's not a fit, at least I can help guide you and help provide that clarity. So I'm going to invite you to only do the session as you're taking on your highest identities. What does that mean? It means if you're really motivated, committed, and ready to achieve your goals in a fraction of the time, then show up on the call like that. Start taking actions as if you are that person. Make decisions as if you're that person. Back when I first started and I started to get into coaching, one of my coaches first, I was listening to him and he mentioned his time where he invested like $12,000 in a coach. And I was like, whoa, that's so huge. was like, man, that would be so amazing. And that was when I was making like 12,500 in a year. And I was like, that would be insane to say I've done, like, invested 12,000 bucks in a coach. Whoa. And I thought, wow, that feels so hard. Like, that feels like a lot of money. So I knew I needed to get into a state where that felt like it was easy. So I started to make these identities where I had already made the decision. I can't wait to invest that much in a coach. And I did within 3 months. Not only that, I invested 35,000 in a coach. And then I did more and more. And over the past 6-7 years, I've had the blessing to be able to invest over 450, almost $500,000 now in my coaching and growth and personal development. And that's working on all these areas. I believe one day I'll give an accountability of my income, where I've spent my money. And I'm a spiritual person. I believe that one day I'll look into the eyes of my maker and give an accounting of what I've done. And I want to say, I valued myself, my relationship with my spouse, my health, my ability to serve, my spirituality more than anything else, more than a house or a car. And a lot of people say that they want to have a good marriage, say that they want to have good health, but their actions and where they put their intentions and their money and their time show the opposite. So no matter what you do, I just invite you to think about that, of who you are becoming. What kind of decisions are you going to be making this year, starting today, to grow you, to allow you into that identity? And if it is resonating with you, then go ahead, book that consultation, and we will explore, take next level. Okay. If you're already in some of our programs, but you want to go to the next level and explore next level programs or next level options, totally cool. You can book a session as well. But if you're looking for that clarity, wanting to figure out next steps, book a session, and in there, I'll help you map that out. Okay. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to align. I know you could be watching a movie right now. You could be vegging. You could be doing something else, but you chose to be here and chose to align. And that to me gets me excited, because I know that leaving today, you're going to embrace your identity. You're going to choose differently. You're going to think differently. You're going to be different because you've chose it. Transformation is a choice. Success is a choice. Most of us have forgotten that. We have felt like something else has taken that choice from us. Today is a new day. This year is a new year. You are a new person right now. So I just want to thank you and encourage you, if you are looking for next steps, book a consultation and we'll take it to the next level. And thank you all for those of you who are already here. And I really appreciate you guys. And I'm excited. And yeah, many of you are already taking steps. You're in the 10-day challenge. Some of you are in the alignments already. So keep doing what you're doing. Now just do it at a higher level, a higher identity. Ask questions. Use what you have, right? Because that's also a very powerful state of being. Okay. Thank you guys. Big virtual hugs, fist bumps, and thank you guys so much. Happy New Year. I'll be posting this on my YouTube channel, so it'll be for the public. If you want to share this with your friends, feel free to do so. It'll be on my YouTube channel, and then links and stuff will be in the description. So if you do want to book a consultation and you're on the recording, it'll be down in the description. And thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you and everything you do and the alignments you're doing. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.